Hello, this is Clara Stevens. I am recording on the subject how cultural heritage influences workers' behavior. Acculturation influences workers' behavior. This is for Liberty University. I'm a PhD student, and this class is for Psych 815. We will begin with giving a general overview, introduction, hypothesis, study analysis, subjects, methodology, research purposes, conclusion, references, and of course, biblical encouragement. Introduction. The documented antecedent study provided what we know to date about ethnic and identity, the acculturation, assimilation, acculturation, and its influences on behavior. Homey 2020 stated that acculturation begins when people find themselves in a new cultural setting that require demonstrating acceptable behaviors to the new environment, or decide when people choose to retain their own culture. Then based on 4 strategies: integration, separation, newcomer adjustment, and workers-related anxiety, which leads to turnover intentions, we're going to use that to assess immigrants' role clarity, self-efficacy, and social acceptance. Waiting 2011 asserted that the determinants of the differences in individual behavior is highly complex. Behavior stems from the multifactorial causation of behavior. Contrary to subjective reasoning, the psychologist thinks in line with multiple factors responsible for behavior and will outrightly reject any single answer for behavior as incomplete. This research study aimed to test whether the prevailing cultural values of the first generation of immigrant parents influences the second and third generations. Also, the study aims to provide the following awareness: that cultural heritage is a rich and flavor culture, personalization with domains with a high behavioral influence capacity. Acculturation of the migrant to the host nation, a culture's practice and require educational training, information, understanding, and practical guidance at different levels of acculturation. So, hypothesis. To the why question, it is necessary to study the various variables that make acculturation difficult for immigrants to enjoy their new social culture. Hypothesis 1. Acculturation will influence the relationship between the host country's social culture, assimilation, and work-related behavior. B. The acculturation will influence the relationship between assimilation of the country's culture and work-related behavior. Acculturation moderates personal intrinsic, psychological, intrinsic, social factors and reduce turnover intentions. Supportive assimilation enhances immigrants' adjustment and reduces turnover intentions. Study analysis, subject, data, and methodology. Workers, workplaces, immigrant, deculturation, assimilation, and acculturation will be variable, and dependent variable will be the three immigrants adjustable variables, which include workers' role clarity. We're going to measure that by the 4 items on a 5-point scale, ranging from 1 to 5. 1 not clear to 5 very clear. And then the second one will be self-efficacy. We'll be measuring that with a scale on 10 items on a 5-point Likert scale, ranging from 1 not true to 5 precisely accurate. Social acceptance will be measured by social acceptance 3 items on a 5-point scale, ranging from 1 strongly disagree to 5 strongly agree. So the subject participant, we plan on getting 250 employees from this organization that has predominantly immigrants employee, like the poultry farms, factory workers, and healthcare and hospital places. Conclusion. I want to conclude by reminding us that immigrants could better adapt to their new environment if they will visualize positive social adjustment to new climate, so that it can boost immigrants' job satisfaction, task performance, and help them to attain excellent start to effective ending. Otherwise, when immigrants choose to retain their own culture, of course the experience will be bad and not so good, because they are going to experience some immigrants may experience constant anxiety, negative experiences, and eventual turnover. The findings serves as positive reinforcement for the background of this study. I will encourage us all to never forget that diversity is not an oversight by God. Actually, this is God's will in His infinite wisdom to create humanity as a relational being, so that we can need one another. We are created to connect, to support one another, to bring different ideas and make something wonderful for the world. And I quote in the book of Acts 17:26, and He made every nation of humanity from one man to live on all the faces of this earth, having determined allotted period and boundaries of their dwelling places. It is the will of God that we have different nations, different culture, different practices, different language, and different understanding. And this also is a beautiful thing when we bring it together. Diversity is God's will. And please check on 1 Corinthians 12 and all the way to the end. Then you will find that if one member suffers, we all suffer. Every part of the body, every nation is very important to connect with other nations, so that resources can be put together and make the world a better place. Thank you for your time. I have references next on the slide, and I thank you for taking a minute to listen to this presentation. God bless. Bye.